do a quick test. If you really want to know if this episode is worth you listening to it, because you might know too many things about this topic or these artists already, and you might not learn anything at all, I will do a quick snippet here. This is the kind of thing that I want to talk about. These little details about Steve Vai's work from a Guitar Player magazine from May 1990, where he is taking the interviewer through, I believe, every single track on Passion and Warfare. And I want to read you directly from his quotes about the recording and creation of the song The Riddle. Interviewer Mr. Joe Gore says, "More E. Lydian. From the very first notes, you set up an incredible tension between the A sharp and the B." Vai says, "I know, I love that. I wrote just those first few notes with the A sharp and the B over an E major triad when I was 15 or 16. Gore says, "The bass sits on an E almost all the way through the tune, but you superimpose about a dozen different modes over it. I love that approach, although you're not likely to hear it on the radio. It goes through Lydian, major, synthetic notes, flat sevens, whole tone stuff, and there are parts where it's just goes off into space. But Riddle is all melody. I tried to play fast in places, but nothing worked. I was compelled to play these melodies. It was really special to hear these things, put them on tape, then listen back and go, this is one of my favorite pieces on the record. Sure, some people say they're never satisfied with what they do. I used to be like that, but I'm tired of being miserable. So I say, I've tried my best. I'm going to enjoy it now. It's not worth it to walk around saying, I hate everything I do. That's bullshit." Now, don't you love that? I think every artist needs to hear stuff like that from someone who's so deep into the note choices and, how he constructs what he does and how he challenges himself. But that's not the reason why I wanted to read you this passage about the riddle. The next part is. Gore asks, "How did you get that incredible orgasm note during the sex passage?" "I don't know. It just happened. It works really good with that scream, which is, well, I don't know if you want to print this, but when I got my first 4-track recorder, I used to record everything. I had this cat who was always in heat. She'd walk around with her butt in the air, waiting for someone to come along and pooch her. We called up the vet and said, 'What can we do? She's tearing up the furniture and it's embarrassing.' He said, 'You're really not going to want to print this.' To relieve her with a thermometer. I wasn't about to do it, but my roommate did. The cat went, "Rawr!" and I recorded it, and I later put it on a sampler and played it backwards at a different speed. I put that on there because that's what the section is about." What about the little stereo guitars panned left and right? That's a BC Rich double neck 12-string recorded dry through a Mutron biphase foot pedal. Please click the link in this video description to stay up to date on the next episodes of the history of rock and roll in film and rock and roll, including the full Steve Vai Crossroads episode that this is excerpted from, coming very soon.